Gone blue.
Right, okay. Welcome. Thank you all for being here today. This is a general meeting of the Waipuna Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board. The meeting is live streamed and recordings will be available on the Community Board's YouTube channel. Now, voting records will be published in the minutes and on the council website. If a voting record is not shown for an item in the minutes, it means that item was carried unanimously by those present. Now, if you are sitting in the gallery, the public gallery, thank you for attending. We welcome your interest in our discussions. Please note that the public gallery should remain quiet at all times during the meeting. And a big welcome to Melissa. Raise your hand. That's Cody's mom, and a happy birthday to you. Yes. Right. Now, toilets are located in the corridor outside the meeting room. In case of an emergency, please exit via the door at the back of the room. There are 2 staircases to exit the building. Please follow staff directions in the case of an emergency. And lastly, please put all your cell phones on mute for the duration of the meeting. Now we'll do our karakia.
Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina ki uta, kia mā tangatanga ki tai, e hia ki ana ki tātakura, e tio, e uka, e hauhu, tia
Thank you. Now, apologies we have received from Debbie Mora, and then we've got Sarah Brunton on Zoom. Moved by Mark and seconded by Cody. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. There are no declarations. Cody. Now item number 7. So Cody, item number 7. All right.
It's up to you.
It's up to you, but not it.
So, thank you. And then confirmation of previous minutes, moved by Andre, seconded by Cody. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. And now we move on to public forum. May I please call on John Turnbull, Special Projects, who will speak on behalf of Olympia Gymnastics and give an update on the activities of the club. Welcome, John. You have 5 minutes to present, including questions and answers from the board members.
Welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. Now, there was a presentation. There you go. Look at that. Right on cue. For those who don't know Olympia Gymnastics, we're based out in Wigram, near the Air Force Museum. Been in establishment since about 2003. Amalgamation of several clubs around the community. One of the very few clubs in New Zealand which is multi-code. So we've got artistic gymnastics, rhythm gymnastics, trampoline in our recreational program, all packed into the Wigram facility. And so one of the reasons I'm here is we're working through a new lease with the council and really keen to move that through and get a really good process for both parties. One of the themes for me just is having come into the organisation only about a year ago is 2 things. If you don't know Olympia, we are a multi-code club. 17,000 individual touch points over the last sort of 4 or 5 years. So each term, we have about 800 to 900 members come through across our recreational program and our competitive program. One of the big shifts we're going through is moving from a competitive club into a community-focused club. Previously, we've been really competitive focused, which has limited our growth and our focus. And if you do know Olympia, you know that, that's all right. You know we've gone through a bit of strife over the last few years. Some poor governance, poor management of the club has got into significant financial challenges, and we've had some good support from the council, from Sport Canterbury and from Gymnastics New Zealand to work through that. And one of our big learnings there is we had a mismatch of our purpose and our real core membership. We were too focused on our competitive program and didn't understand the financial as well as the community impact that a broader recreational program has. As many of you might know, that gymnastics is coming back into the school curriculum next year. And so one of the partner projects with the council is around figuring out how we can support that, the wider community wider school community to pick up the gymnastics baton and support a wider approach to gymnastics. We are a feeder club. That's all right. I can leave it there.
You just put through.
Maybe I just need to turn it on. So yeah, one of the key things is for us is just to make sure that the shift into schools and that bringing it back into the curriculum is done appropriately and well, so that we can support, again, feeder programs across the across multiple sports. We're going to work. No. Look, that's pretty much all I was going to work through. Just leave it there if you want. And look, the final piece, so we've gone through some challenges, we've refocused on our community impact, and one of the big things for us is just moving into a new, strong and formal board environment. And there's our new board there. Open to questions. Happy to fill in if needs be.
Thank you very much. We've got questions from Mark.
Thank you, and thank you for coming in. I am familiar with Olympia.
Yes.
Haven't been at your presentations a couple of times. And that's the home of Maddie and Dylan.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got resident Olympians in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just thinking of that strife you've been through financially, does that mean that you're, as a club, are carrying a significant burden of debt?
Good question. No. So we were really fortunate with the administration arrangement from GNZ. So Gymnastics New Zealand stepped in, removed our board, put in an interim one. That board worked with IRD and a couple of other partners to remove that debt. So look, the removal of debt is one thing. Having a cash-rich environment is another. And so look, we're still tight, but we're not carrying that, which is really nice. So we are able to look forward and coming back to spending appropriately, supporting our coaches, supporting the health and safety environment, and facility and equipment as well. So
cool. And as a board and council, is there anything in particular that we can assist in the process as you're at?
Look, I mean, to be fair, you've done some great work in helping partner with the schools. That for us, I think just that ability to impact for us is a greater focus than it ever has been. Big focus for the board. The other one then is just working collaboratively around that lease arrangement. Obviously, we're highly reliant on that facility, and so working together to make sure that that is simple as possible, and then as future focused as we can as well. Obviously, there's a lot of thinking going on around about the park. We've got car parking that's been shared amongst the area, so there's some challenges with the facility, and just working through that with us will be awesome. Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. And right, we had Paul Pink earlier in the list, but apparently he's not here. So we'll move on to the deputations. And we've got Mr. Alan Marshall, who will speak on behalf of the University of Canterbury in relation to the Island Road crossing south of Homestead Lane, Port, item 8. Welcome, Alan. Please come forward. And you have 10 minutes to speak, and including questions and answers.
I didn't catch where you're from, Alan.
I'm from Canterbury University.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good afternoon. My name is Alan Marshall. I'm the Director of Engineering and Maintenance at the University of Canterbury. I'll be brief. I don't have a lot to say. So over the last probably 2 years, we've worked closely with the Christchurch City Council, starting with a meeting with Tyler, and that's led to a collaborative approach that's got me here today to present the potential crossing on Island Road. Our relationship with Christchurch City Council is extremely important and valued greatly at the University of Canterbury. We currently have approximately 2,000 students on the west side of Island Road, sometimes crossing multiple times a day. So it gives you an idea of the significant volume of traffic coming across. And we all know that Island Road is an extremely busy road. Fortunately, to this day, we've not had a major accident. We've had accidents, but nothing major. The design of the crossing, as the collaborative effort developed, it became really obvious early on that speed is an issue on Island Road. And so the raised design of the crossing that's currently in place is extremely important because it does deter vehicle speed on Island Road. So I thought that was worth pointing out. The crossing will be a huge improvement towards the health and safety of our students. And thank you for your consideration today.
Oh, finished? Right. Thank you for that, Alan. We've got a couple of questions, I think, or a few questions from a couple of board members. One is from Tyler. Go ahead, Tyler.
Hey, Alan.
Hey.
I'll be real quick. Just to provide perspective for the board, can you talk about what it looks like on a day-to-day basis during semester time?
Semester time?
Yeah, when semester's on.
Yeah, so when semester's on, we have classes starting at different times during the day. So we don't have 2,000 people crossing at the same time. Some people might have 3 or 4 classes throughout the day, and most students, especially first years in accommodation, they'll have catered meals and that sort of thing as part of their package. So instead of staying on the main campus and having lunch, they'll go back to their accommodation. They may go back to study. So you have instances of some students maybe going backwards and forwards 5 times a day to economise their value for money, essentially.
In the hundreds, most likely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Particularly during lunchtime.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay, and you did talk about the raised platform part.
Yeah.
Would you be able to talk to us about the way that you've worked with council and why the raised platform is really important for UC in this? Yeah,
so we started off looking at all the different options that were available, and the option that was the most effective, I think, was a controlled intersection with traffic lights, and it was determined that would likely be very expensive and take quite a lot of time to get approved. And so the next best thing was the raised crossing, and we've seen that work around Christchurch elsewhere, and it's very effective. And so that was the real, I guess, the next best solution from the controlled intersection.
Cool, thanks.
Right, I've got Joseph and then Helen.
Thanks for coming in, Alan. So I noticed that you said that this has been a 2-year process, and it's correct, that in those 2 years there's been construction of new halls of residence on the other side of Island Road to the university.
Yes.
So I guess my question would be, would you say it's accurate that this should be done sooner rather than later, so as to keep up with the demand from the increased number of students who are crossing the road?
Absolutely. I think if we wait, we might not be so lucky with the safety of our students.
Yeah, because you said, fortunately, there's been no major accidents.
Yeah.
So I take it that it's an expectation that the current design as stands is creating some level of risk.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And I heard from Keith Lilly, who I believe is the Director of Facilities at UC, he said something along the lines of, the risk profile means that students can find a crossing, but for older people who perhaps work on campus, it can be harder to find a crossing. Would you say that's also accurate under the current design?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's all of my questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Joseph. I've got Helen and then Cody.
I did ask staff with answers, haven't got them, so I'll ask you one of them. The pedestrian crossing, no, that's fine. The shared pathway, is that an issue that you're concerned about on the east side? It says on the east side of Island Road.
Helen, the speaker is only, deputation is only about the crossing, the pedestrian crossing.
Have I read something? No, it's down as an item here. And I was responsible in sending questions. So is that an issue for you, or is it really an issue for council?
I don't believe it's an issue for us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you, Helen. Is that all? Cody.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for coming to speak as well. Can you please help me understand as well, just around how students and people traveling in the area use the bus as well? Because this is very close to there. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how people use it and so forth?
How people use the bus?
Yeah.
So we do have a large amount of students that bus to the university. So the bus lanes, especially at certain times of the day, are also quite busy. The actual layout of the bus lanes is probably not ideal in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's the best of what's there currently in terms of the available architecture.
Yeah. And to clarify, when you're saying bus lanes, you're talking about the bus stops.
The bus stops, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Nobody else has any questions? Mark.
Yeah, just a question. If we were to approve the crossing but without the raised platforms, would that be a good step forward for the university?
It would be, but my fear would be that we're not controlling the speed of going through that area.
Right.
Helen.
Yes, I was down there this morning. It's 40 kilometres per hour. Yes, so that's a standard through the whole area from Hanrahan Street to Craig Road.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're fine with that, are you?
40?
40.
Well, I mean, we could look at reducing it, but there'd be other downstream effects of that as well. And I think because the crossing is not constant all day long, that may affect traffic flow.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
And evening it would.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Helen. Joseph.
Just one follow-up from Mark's question. So you said that the risk of not doing the speed platform would be that the speeds couldn't be controlled. Am I understanding correctly that what you're saying is that putting in the crossing without the platform would encourage crossings without increasing the safety for the people who are crossing?
Sorry, can you just repeat that?
Am I to understand correctly that you're worried that if we put in the crossing and don't do the platform, we'll be encouraging students to cross the road without making it safer for them to do so?
Well, I think Island Road is driven down daily by people that drive down there every day on their way to work. And I think the effect of a raised crossing point, there's muscle memory happens to the driver driving down there. So they know that they have to slow down, otherwise it's going to be uncomfortable driving in their vehicle. And I think if it's just a flat crossing, then there's no incentive for them to be alert. And so we've got a crossing outside of our security office, and that's a flat crossing. And we've had numerous near misses there as well because people just run through the crossing. And I think that should also be raised as well, but that's a discussion for another day.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. I've got one more question from Sarah on Zoom. Sarah?
Thank you. Thanks, Alan. I just have got a few concerns about the platform, and I'm curious to know, correct me if I'm wrong, did you say that you haven't had any accidents with pedestrians crossing there currently? Is that right?
We've had accidents, but nothing major.
Okay. And
so we've had people admitted to hospital, but
examples of your accidents, please.
So last year there was a student hit by a vehicle.
And do we know what the cause of that was?
It was a combination of the driver not paying attention, but also the student not looking where they were going, crossing the road. So that's some of the issue. It's not just vehicles that are the problem, it's the students not paying attention.
Yeah, and that leads me to my next question was, how alert or attentive are students when they're crossing the roads, particularly with the use of cell phones? I just wondered if that has an impact on making sound choices.
Yeah, we could probably do a thesis on that. It would be quite interesting. I think when you look at the students and how they cross, at the moment, they cross across a space of road about maybe 12 metres wide plus coming across Island Road. So there's no real area that marshals them into one place. which is
Oh.
also an issue. And you'll see that if you go to site and look at the eastern side of Island Road, we've put a whole lot of construction fencing up there to marshal students to appropriate locations in an attempt to get them going into the right place. A bit like sheep, students.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Alan. We've run out of time. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so we move on to there are no presentation of petitions. And so we move on to staff reports. May I call on Ashley Beaton for the Wigram Primary School bus stop removal?
Happy to move.
All right. Any questions? No?
No.
Moved by Andre. Thank you. And seconded by Mark. All those in favor say aye. Against? Carried.
Yeah, thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you. Rudy.
Cheers.
Oh, right. Now we've got Gemma on item number 8, Island Road crossing south of Homestead Lane. Welcome, Gemma. And so you want to?
When you're ready, when you're ready.
Yeah. These are questions, right? Okay, Gemma.
Kia ora. I was just going to take the reports read, but I was just going to, I guess, reconfirm some of the things that Alan has mentioned. So on-site observations have showed that students do have a tendency to walk in different places and not always focusing on what they're doing, but that's the environment that we're in. We've got over 1,200 students crossing in an hour some mornings, and that came through in the 2022 surveys, which was prior to the facilities being built at Homestead Lane. So we've got now even more students, which effectively increases risk. And it's a risk that the university aren't comfortable with, and I guess that's why they approached council. The platform as well, Alan has mentioned that speed is an issue on Island Road. It is posted at 40, but the 85th percentile speeds are still sitting up at about 47k. So if a pedestrian or a person on a bicycle was to be hit at those speeds, then the impact is quite high compared to the speeds that we would achieve if we had the platform in place as well. And the platform does, the cycle network guidance produced by NZTA does recommend that, because the speed of cyclists crossing the road is again higher than a person on their feet. So they really recommend that best practice is that the platform goes in at dual crossings so that we can manage the speed of all road users. And the angles at which the cycles will cross the crossing is quite, it will require them to slow down and make the turn to make the crossing. So again, it does support safe cycle movements as well as safe pedestrian movements. Again, up at the security office, we did have a near miss there, which did prompt council to put in speed humps after the event. And I guess we don't want another situation where we've introduced a crossing that's perceived to be safe and someone walks out and then we have another near miss. So from council's perspective, to do it all in one go first and do it right is the recommended option by council. In terms of the shared paths are around the crossing, needed for people on their bicycles to access the crossing if they're coming from Homestead Lane, or if they're travelling along Island Road and want to access UCSA, or to make their journey away from UCSA as well.
You've got, I'll ask a question. You've got down, it's the east side of Island Road. Is that the Island School side?
It is the Island School side outside UCSA Cup.
Outside there?
Yeah. So
but you're not doing the other side?
No, that remains as it is, which is a formal shared path.
So I could move that to another meeting. I've been down, I mean, I will leave it till I didn't get the questions answered, so.
Okay, so I have got some answers if you've got your questions. Yeah. So that's an introduction to the project, and happy to take any questions.
Right. Thank you, Gemma. We've got Tyler, Mark, and then Helen.
Hey, Gemma.
Hello.
Welcome back to Riccarton. I just have a couple. Obviously, you know that we've been working on this for 2.5, 3 years now.
Yes.
And there's been different ways and how it's been managed. Can you talk to me about the way that UC came up with this proposal and council have been working with them? It sort of helps provide perspective for the board to understand.
Yes, so I am only recently joining the party of the 2 years. But the university did mention it was raised. And even when we were looking at the Waimari Road crossing that is of the same design, it came up again at that point that a number of people were crossing at this location and it didn't feel safe for them to do so. And as well as the rest, I guess the university carries. So a number of options were considered, I understand, and traffic signals do have a benefit for providing a crossing facility. However, it's very controlled and it would stand out kind of like a sore thumb because you've got multiple zebra crossings along the way and it would then be inconsistent, I guess, as a treatment. It also means that pedestrians have to wait for the red man, which we know compliance can sometimes be an issue, but with those numbers of people, we obviously would then need bigger footpaths to hold them because they'll platoon across the road. Whereas zebra crossings allow the priority for the people crossing. And so vehicles do have to wait a little bit, but it means that they get that better level of service in what is a location where you've got just as many people walking and cycling as you do vehicles and buses traversing Island Road.
Thank you. And comparing this intersection, or sorry, this crossing with anything else around the city, that's at the absolute volume of people coming across, could you help us provide perspective and what similar crossings there are around the city that have that kind of number? I know yeah.
Maybe outside Ara,
There must be.
where they've just put the new signals in.
So it'd be safe to say it probably has the highest volume of pedestrians at once.
Yeah, and especially coming in
City.
those platoons as well. Like you could have a constant feed through Central City.
Yeah.
But like when class finishes at 10, everyone's out. And they do stagger classes, but yeah, those kind of en masse crossings, you probably wouldn't get anywhere else aside from somewhere like Ara, which still wouldn't have the same amount of students.
I've seen it at the moment. It's a sea full of baggy jeans and retro tees. The next one I've got is around the camber of the safety platform. Obviously, good decision makers like to go back and forth until they come to a conclusion. And for this, I've obviously gone back and forth based on history. But for this one, can you talk to us about the camber? You've got the horizontal plane, which is great to see. And I was referring to page 35 of the report. But I'm more looking at the approach.
Yep.
What's that like?
So the approach ramps, we've got to a point where 1.5 meter long ramps give us a good, I guess, speed calming measure, but without being too severe. Like some of the early ones we put in, probably we learned lessons from.
Thank you.
And we always try and learn lessons from stuff that we do as staff. So it really is about the contractor getting it right as well at the top of the platform where it joins. If it has a roll, then sometimes it can feel more bumpy. But we might even try a different material to see if we can get a smoother grade. So ECAN were okay with the proposal, but we said, look, let's keep talking through detailed design to see if we can get that ramp
Softened.
Yeah.
So you can have a softer approach.
Yeah, as long as
100 mil is quite low in comparison to other speed bumps we've got around the city, but
yeah, so 100 mil is probably what we've been putting out more recently.
Gotcha.
For the platform. So our little humps, like we've got, like on the entries to local streets, are generally around 75 mil. I mean, they're still quite little, but they do achieve
what's needed.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to alleviate some people potentially, if we did go for option one, that the approach could be softened.
Approach ramps, we could look at those definitely.
Okay. And would that need to be written into a resolution in terms of having a softer approach on a platform?
I think we can just go through detailed design. Yeah.
Safeguard us.
No, good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a resolution, go for it. Like it's no issue to me. We can definitely work through it at detailed design. But if it makes councillors and elected members feel more comfortable, then absolutely fine.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Gemma.
Right, thank you.
Get that drafted up, eh? Let's go again. I'll find it. I'll do it.
Thank you, Tyler.
They don't mention it's in the.
I can just write notes. I'll write it. notes on the detailed design. Yeah, whatever, we'll figure it
It
out.
was in the report. It was in the report, but not the resolution.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. I've got Mark, Helen, Cody, Joseph, and Marie. So Mark, take it away.
Thank you. I had been hoping to ask Alan this question around the near miss at the security office, because that security office crossing is now protected by some very severe speed humps, is it not?
It does now, following that quite serious near miss.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. And it was involving a person on a bicycle that nearly had the near miss. So we also put some chicanes on the shared paths to slow people on bikes coming through. So everyone was slowing down. It's not just drivers need to slow down, but people on bicycles and scooters also do need to slow down.
And I guess that further down Ilam Road at Ilam School, there's already a zebra crossing there. Do you see similar near misses happening there without any speed humps?
Yes. So we Ilam School keep asking, and it's on the list for additional features to make their zebra crossing safer at school times in particular. Ashley and I attended the school with the mayor, I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And they raised the concerns again there. So it is a consistent issue. They now have their 30k speed zone in place. But I think they're still having the same concerns. So it's as with a lot of school requests, they are on the list and we do try and get them.
Cool. Remind me, do they have a care crossing facility on there as well, or just
They do.
they
Yeah,
do?
they do.
And if we were to go to option 2 in the report without this raised platform, we'd still get the paint that's in the design, like with the red approaches.
You would still get the red approaches. Whether, I guess it comes down to the risk. And so I think if we retain it as a dual crossing, you do have those elevated cycle speeds, which if you have an elevated driver speed at the same conflict point, that the severity of a crash would be higher than if they had the platform or some traffic calming feature to slow them down.
Right. So I guess having an extrapolation on that, having the cycle and pedestrian crossing together, is it extra risky having the two together, or would we be better to have the cycle crossing separate?
So it's not as much of a risk having them together, and it is a desire line for both people walking and cycling. It's just having the, I guess, awareness that people on bikes do travel faster, and if you have a vehicle traveling faster as well, that crash outcome would be more severe than if you had something to slow either party down as well. And we're doing as much as we can on the pathways, but yeah, in terms of vehicle speeds, taking them down from 47k down to 30 really does reduce the severity of that collision if it was to occur.
And is there any opportunity to, in place of the raised platform, replace the approaches with high friction surfaces?
It probably doesn't give you the same effect. We've put the high friction out at the traffic signals in Halswell, and I don't think we've had long enough to understand the impacts, whether that's given us what we need. I think we'd probably want another 6 months of that being in before we said, okay, let's consider that in our toolkit for zebra crossings as well. And, even if it was like just a pure zebra crossing, then you could say, well, actually, the risk would be slightly less. But as soon as we bring in people on bicycles, then you've just got that higher speed conflict collision point.
Cool, thank you.
All good, Mark?
Yep.
Thank you, Mark. I've got Helen, Cody, Joseph,
Thank you.
Marie, and then Sarah.
If we drop the speed to 30 k's per hour, we're doing what we did on Riccarton Road. So is there any reason we don't drop the speed from 40 to 30?
Yes, so the setting of speed limits 2024, the government removed the ability for council to set additional 30 kilometre an hour speed limit.
So we can't do it.
No, we've got the
Okay.
lowest speed we can get.
Now, I'm particularly concerned about the shared pathways. I've always been. I've sent some questions through, but I was down there today. It was really busy at 12:30, and you imply in one of your documents that the cyclists can't easily turn from Hanrahan Street into Ilam Road. But I was down there and that was happening. So they can go straight from a cycle route on Hanrahan Street to Island Road. They don't have to use the shared pathway.
Can I just check Hanrahan's slightly further south? So the shared pathway on the west side of the road.
I'm talking the west side.
Yes, starts and finishes at Island School. So yes, you can come out of Hanrahan onto the cycleway.
Onto the cycle.
And then
easily,
if you ride north, then you would join the shared path if you chose to.
Where would you join the shared path?
At the zebra crossing outside the school.
Why would you do it though, rather than keep on the cycle route?
So I guess there's just different people that use different facilities. I know that for Island School, they have a lot of children on bikes. So if they were coming from Waimari Road, they could come through Island Fields, down the shared path on the west side, and then cross at the crossing point to get to school.
Well, can I say without the,
Can I just say, please,
can I just,
we need to focus the meeting on what's on the agenda.
well, I'm happy to compromise on the east side because I think it's quite muddly. But the west side I will bring back. I'm not happy.
And next time
that it stays, but it's not on the order paper.
report. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
Just stick with the pedestrian crossing.
There's no proposal to remove the shared path on the west side.
yes,
Okay.
and it's fading, so it's
Thank you, Helen. I've got Cody, Joseph, Marie, and then Sarah. Cody, please.
Thank you. Now, I was involved in a cycling NEMIS type almost crash in the Victon area. One of the factors of that was actually the trees creating shadow in this area. I'm familiar with this area. I'm actually concerned that lighting is not sufficient from this. So I didn't see any consideration given towards these appear to be the standard just pole installation. Given that you've told us how many people are crossing here and it's throughout the day, probably throughout the night as well, given that people live here, would it not be more appropriate to have the flashing orange pedestrian crossing instead?
So we are going to be putting new lights in at the crossing point, but the Belisha discs will remain as orange circles. But the black and white poles will actually be light columns.
Okay. What's the reason for not lighting them other than cost?
We just have moved away from lighting the Belisha beacons. We just use the standard reflective discs, but we have to make sure the lighting is compliant so that it can be seen at nighttime.
I'm just thinking, I mean, in the case that, I mean, some members have maybe suggested to go for option 2, would that be something that you could consider within the budget difference of I think it was 270 to 290? Would that be able to be fit within there, for example?
It's going a bit retro, but we could bring them back. I think I just have to have a discussion with our asset team about that because it would just be slightly different from what we have been doing. So there would possibly be extra maintenance costs and things as well.
Sure.
I'll have to take
Okay. And just with reference to the rule that you mentioned earlier, I don't believe universities can be considered in terms of variable speed limit. Is that correct?
That's our understanding of the rule. So the 30k outside Island School is as far as we can get it to the north.
Okay.
So we're just having to do it through actual features rather than a change in the speed limit.
You and just with reference to the shared path, sorry, so that's a little bit hard to see. So sorry, not the shared path, the cycle lanes, so they would actually go through the current build out, isn't it? Sorry,
Yes, so the build out is being removed temporarily while there's construction work at the university to allow the trucks to come in and out. So we're going to form, we talked to spokes about it, some bollard movements.
Yes.
To try and highlight the cycleway still, but to make sure that we're taking trucks in and out as well.
So the build out and crossing to be removed and replaced with flexible bollards, is that temporary?
It's temporary for now. Yes, there's possibly other plans within the university that may affect that section, but we're just not there yet. So we're just working with the information we've got currently.
Okay, so given the build out that we did in Templeton recently, there was about $100,000. How much of that $200 and something thousand is the build out being?
It would be a very small proportion. It's pretty much just stuck onto the surface. So we'd just scoop it up and just make sure that it's nice and flat for riding on. It's not significant construction to remove. No.
Okay. So what is the thing in this that's making it almost $300,000 if it's not the build out?
So the new curb alignment on the east side is we're building out quite substantially, which means that we are having to change the road levels just slightly, and there's additional drainage in there to make sure that we can move the water around that new build out, and quite a lot of new footpath to fill that space. There's a couple of berms there that are not berms, they're just mud pits. So they will also seal that as well. So it's just removes those hazards. It just needs to be usable space for people walking and scooting, cycling.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Cody. I've got Joseph, Marie, Sarah, and then Andre. Joseph, please.
All right, so I heard it said earlier during Alan's presentation that there's the risk that drivers won't slow down if there's no raised platform. I just wanted to check, is there any data or numbers about how the rates of non-compliance would be from drivers without a platform?
I don't have that information, I suppose.
Right. Would it be fair to assume that the rate of non-compliance would be higher without the platform?
From observations around the city at different zebra crossings, and we know from a lot of school crossings as well that compliance is quite low at zebras. I mean, pedestrians do have to wait until they've seen the car stop, so there is always that kind of little hesitation, but generally behaviour at zebra crossings isn't outstanding.
All right, and if we connect that up to what was being said earlier about how this is one of the highest volume crossings in the city, would you say that this would then present, if we go for an option without a raised platform, would you say that that presents a substantially higher risk than other crossings of, you know, making a decision that would then cause near misses in the future or even cause accidents such as the one that was alluded to earlier?
So I guess it would be creating just a higher risk at that location anyway, regardless of whether you compare that to other crossings around the city. We've got a high number of people crossing, so we've got high exposure rates, and we've got fairly, you know, it's good traffic volumes. It's a collective road, and we've got high speeds already. Well, they're not high speeds; they're higher than we would like them to be, because we know that 30k is that speed where if you hit at that point, the impact on you is lower. But yeah, just given the amount of people crossing there, the traffic, the speeds, not having the platform does elevate the risk of that crossing point.
And you said these pedestrian volume numbers come from 2022.
Yeah, so that was prior to the 2 towers being built on Homestead Lane.
Is there any data from before 2022 that has even lower numbers than that, or?
So there was a count by Stantec in 2019 as well. I don't have that data with me, but I can always send that through for you afterwards.
All right, and do you think that pedestrian volumes have risen since 2022?
Yes, with the 2 new buildings, and then with the new buildings going on the UCSA car park site, you will have more pedestrians in the area. We've got the big bus stops, and even, you know, students wanting to go to Riccarton to go shopping or come home with the food shopping or whatever, then we're just generating more and more trips. So the number of crossings will increase.
So we're probably dealing with a higher level of risk than is indicated in this report.
I think it would just be safe to say it would be high risk if we didn't necessarily have the platform involved at that crossing location.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. I've got myself, then Sarah, and then Andre. So just quick question. My question relates to consultation.
Yes.
In paragraph 6.9 of your report, you identified the directly affected stakeholders you targeted your consultation on. Was there any consultation undertaken with emergency services? I would have thought that it's standard to consult with emergency services, especially if it's a raised platform.
Yes, so that is a good question. We understand what the feedback is from the emergency services from all of the previous consultations that we've done. So we know that for fire, it's a slight concern just because of the size and the weight of the vehicles, but generally they're supportive of safety improvements that reduce the need for them to be called out for crashes, and police and ambulance have always been supportive as well. So we know that from the Waimari Road crossing, that's exactly the same. We did wider consultation on that one, and so we could infer that the people who are walking, cycling and scooting, as per that consultation, supported the platform, and then people who drive through have the concerns around the vehicle delays and the comfort of the ride.
So would they be at least aware that this is being proposed right now?
So I guess they haven't been informed of this specific one, but I can let them know after this if it's approved or not.
Okay, thank you. I've got Sarah and then Andre. Sarah, go ahead, please. You're still on mute, Sarah.
Sorry about that. Speaking to myself. So thanks, Gemma. Just curious, I've got a few questions here. So are motorists expected to wait for cyclists when they're crossing?
Yes, yeah, but the change comes with the installation of give way controls. So you give way to pedestrians and cyclists at the crossing point.
Okay, because when I set my driver's license many moons ago and recently had it renewed, there's no like additional tests that you need to do. And so I've just noticed with the addition of raised platforms and different layouts of pedestrian crossings these days, or the addition of the triangles, it can be a little bit confusing to know what to do or if it even is a pedestrian crossing, because sometimes it's just the raised bumps without a crossing on it, and then also pedestrians think that they can cross. So I'm just wondering, is there, you're obviously going from some government standardized
Line guide, yep.
guidelines, yeah. How are lay people able to keep up and be informed about what they're to do at these particular crossings?
Yeah, so I guess even with new treatments, we do still try to rely on traffic control devices such as signs that people do understand. So the give way triangle and the give way sign, anyone that's driving should be aware that they need to give way to something, whether it is the pedestrians and cyclists on the crossing. We do put the supplementary plates to pedestrians and cycles as well to inform drivers why they're giving way. But we do any kind of new infrastructure that goes in or new traffic control devices does go through some testing with NZTA, and we align all of our designs generally to those guidelines and standards. If you were to see a crossing with, I guess, just a platform without any zebra markings on, then we know that vehicles have the right of way over that because there's nothing to infer pedestrians have priority. So generally, whilst there's new treatments we roll out, we do try to stick with information that drivers should understand, and that's with the give way controls, is that you're not giving way at an intersection necessarily, but you are giving way to something in front of you.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just concerned that there's a lot going on. There's a lot to take in. I'm looking at you, Church Corner, and it can be quite challenging as a motorist to navigate, certain areas. I'm just trying to make it as easy for all road users to navigate as possible. Also, when you talk about a softer speed bump, what do you mean by that? Do you just mean the incline, the approach?
Yes.
And you talk about the angle?
Yes. So some of the platforms we first put in had, I guess, like a 1 meter long ramp, and that's quite sudden as a driver. So we've extended them out to 1.5, but it could be that at this one we take it out to 1.75 just to try something a little bit softer, just so that we can still get the speed management that we're keen on, but that it is just, especially for buses, especially for bigger vehicles, or even just someone who may not slow down enough, just to take that thing out of the tail.
And so, sorry if you've answered this before, I'm just trying to understand everything. How much do you expect that the driver's speed, if they're on average, you said in the 85th percentile, people are going 47 Ks, how much would you anticipate having a softer raised platform would reduce the speed by?
So we are looking for around 30K, but if we could get that down to at least 33, then, we'd take that as a win. Every kilometre, every 1K speed you can reduce by will improve the safety of the crossing. Yeah.
Okay, and if a driver drove over it at 47K, are they going to do any damage to the bottom of their car?
They shouldn't in this day and age. We do know that on the network, a lot of vehicles are slightly higher, SUVs, utes. We do provide as much information as we can to drivers in terms of permanent warning signs, crossing ahead, and sometimes, we have the supplementary signs to advise people to travel over at 25. And so we're providing all the traffic control devices that we've got in our toolkit to inform a driver to slow down before they go over the platform. If they continue to choose to drive over the platforms at 50, then there is possibility of some damage. But council has done everything they can to make that driver aware of what is in front of them.
Okay, so the addition of the 1.75 approach versus the original ones that were a lot steeper means that a car can travel faster over it. Is that right?
Just slightly.
Conversely, a car will reduce their speed by a bit more.
That's what we would like them to do. Yes, we want them to drive that bit slower just around these crossing points where we've got 1,200 students crossing, say, in the peak hour.
Thank you very much.
Quite right.
All right, thank you, Sarah. I've got Andre and then Mark.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just trying to get an idea on the daily pedestrian users. So in here, it's talking about different time periods for that 1,268.
Yes.
So what? Try and get an idea of what the daily number was.
Yeah. So I don't know why they didn't do a full day, but if you could extrapolate up. So I mean, like if you had 1,000 at 8 o'clock, you could say, well, at 9, 10, 11. Even if you only had half of that number, you've still got a big number crossing at that point. And then you've also got the bus stops. So I think, we could look to do future count.
Oh, no, that 1,268, like that only included like that morning, the way I'm reading it, the morning, evening, lunchtime.
Yes.
Just those periods. So outside of those times, you're expecting a lot more.
Yeah.
So you're talking well over 1,268 per day.
Yeah.
It'll be in the thousands.
Yeah.
So it would rival the amount of cars that use that road each day.
Yes.
To do that test day, just to see.
Close.
Yeah. So
Close.
I'd never quite stopped to take time to think about that comparison, but I'm reading the numbers and then I've read the daily traffic count. They're actually quite comparable, particularly at those busy times of the day. So that's very useful context. No, thank you very much.
Around 7,000 vehicles a day, so yeah, you'd be close.
All right, thanks, Gemma. That's great.
Good. All right, thank you, Andre. I've got Mark and then Joseph. Mark, please.
Thank you. I think I've just answered my own question, but that 47 kilometres per hour, 85th percentile, was that taken outside Item School?
That was taken between just north of the crossing on Island School.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark. Joseph.
I just wanted to check, those observations, were they done before the Dovedale campus, which is further down? It's on the opposite side of Island Fields. Were these numbers done before the Dovedale campus came online?
2022. I'd have to defer to my colleague, Alan. If I'm allowed to do that.
Can Alan come back to the?
I'm just going myself to see with what's going on.
So the Dovedale is also in an enormous growth period at the moment as well, with facilities constantly being brought back online. It was the old Teachers College and was mothballed for a number of years. The campus itself now is almost fully occupied, and so the growth would not have been factored into those numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
cool.
Right, thank you, Alan. Any other questions? Tyler?
I just wanted to I hope someone adds option 2 is foreshadowed, but move option 1 with the additional resolution. Okay, that up.
Happy to see it.
Did Mark, did you have another?
You guys can still do question.
I'll foreshadow option 2.
Oh, right.
That way we don't lose it.
Can I also suggest that regardless of the option, that we do have those leisure lights included for visibility, because it will make pedestrians.
Just check first, no more questions to stop?
No.
We have no more questions on staff. Okay,
Thank
thank you, Gemma. Right, okay, go ahead.
Yep. Visibility is an issue, and it probably will continue to be an issue with trees and the trimming of those trees. I know it was suggested that it's sort of old-fashioned to have those flashing lights, but if we're trying to make it clear for all road users, I think will help to achieve that. It will also help with the visibility and signalling to people that it is actually in fact a crossing. I do feel that's important that we have that in there.
What are you thinking? I mean, I'm happy to add it in. I'm just wondering what you're thinking in terms of the lighting provisions.
We discussed that as a bleacher light. So it's the same as the orange disc. It's just illuminated.
Maybe we could even broaden it in the resolution for it to have an intent of improving the lighting. Because that way they can come up with multiple options, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and then come back.
Okay.
Okay, your
And
resolution.
Mark must put us in this foreshadow too, though. Yeah.
Expecting this one under that, so will the board approves the pedestrian crossing and notes the community board's expectation that the owner design, and do you want to add something in there about and will incorporate improved lighting?
Options. No.
It doesn't need to come back to us again. It's a standardized design. They did it in Brilton.
Yeah, so you think we could just add it in the lighting amendment?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what were your words coding for that?
And considers eliminating.
You'll probably get what you've got.
I can't actually see it all. I'll come up with it.
We'll make that, we'll make this
the same
a,
thing.
sorry, it is just the same thing. We'll make this a.
Yeah, improve visibility for road users with lighting.
And Faye, you could delete the
Yeah, improve lighting in the area.
sorry.
Improve lighting in the area.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, you said something else?
Oh yeah.
Remove what?
Remove, because it's just looks silly. To reduce unnecessary discomfort mode on bus passengers, get rid of that. So where practical, incorporate a smoother approach profile while retaining the intended safety benefits. The other stuff.
Reduce
Superfluous.
to the comma.
Can I ask what happens?
Forgot to say
if
and
we
redact.
can't find any solution?
Gemma said they could. They said that should push it up to 1.75. Just a bit of middle ground. I'd hope it'd be some similar to the St. Thomas speed bumps. They're pretty nice to drive over.
Where is that?
The St. Thomas's speed bumps are quite easy in terms of the camber.
But where is that?
Right.
Quite nice. Greenhurst, is it? Middle Park. Middle Park. Middle Park.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
So,
Jimmy gets my gist.
I hear your point.
do you move it? So you're moving it? to-
Yes, please.
And I'll second it.
I'll second.
I'll second it.
He did second 10 minutes
I did
ago.
second,
Yeah.
all right, so Joseph.
I'll be good. That's off above some.
You got a witness, so that's fine.
I'd like words recorded, please. That's a joke, to be clear.
Keep it written. Right. So moved by Tyler and seconded by Joseph. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sarah?
No.
Still
No,
there?
no,
No? Okay. Then you're against Sarah. Got
Correct.
that recorded and Mark. So Sarah and Mark against,
I've abstained, actually.
and
Abstained.
Helen abstains. And I will call that out as carried. Right. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gemma.
Oh, good.
Right, now moving on to item number 9.
Are we able to, I want to speak to this actually. So
We've already had the vote.
have you, were you passing everything?
Helen, you said you abstained.
Okay,
You abstain.
You voted on.
okay, well, you all know my feelings about that.
Email- you can email them.
Okay, yep, and you will do that in
Yeah.
somewhere else, not on this report. Right, item number 9, 146166 Shands Road footpath extension. We've got Andy and
David, sorry.
David.
There is.
So it's not Peter.
The day.
Go on then.
David and
Oh.
Andy. And so
Don't have to
welcome.
build it.
It's already built.
Oh, is this registered?
Oh, this is the
Taken as read, or do you want to speak to it?
We'll take it as read for this one. Yeah.
Okay, any
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah.
This is Shands Road, so Cody,
Um,
here's a question.
Yeah, thank you. And it's good to see this one actually built already, but the report actually doesn't mention that, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, so writing retrospective legally means that it goes back to the day that it was built.
Mhm.
We can't write that, like we're asking you to resolve it today,
Yeah.
not asking you to backdate the resolution. So that's why in our reports, we don't write that it is retrospective.
Really, because some of the later reports
Yeah.
actually do say retrospective in them.
Yeah, but not in the resolutions yet. So Peter's written this one, and then I've been writing the ODP ones, and there might be a little bit miss of wording around it. The other ones do talk about existing infrastructure, and we try and be deliberate around saying existing infrastructure, just to not use that word.
So it's retaining the existing infrastructure. I think there is a legal issue if they put in retrospectively.
Sure. Just with regards to some of the curb cut downs as well. So given that it's kind of existing, but actually not, if they're not there, but they're on this plan, what's the next steps for that?
If there's things on the plan that are not there on the ground, then we would instruct our subdivision engineers to go out and double check. And it's probably under
Who's going to actually do that?
effect period.
So that's our subdivision engineers. So we, as part of the transport team, we bring the resolutions for engineering approved plans. Those engineering approvals are done through our planning team, which is specifically the subdivision engineers, are also the people that are out there looking after the delivery of these plans.
Okay. Is it not actually the case that I submitted some snips and self regarding this with the defects that maybe triggered this report?
I'm not too sure about that, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's come up because we are trying to get on top of some of the ones that are coming in after we met with the council.
Yeah.
Instead of letting everything wait till the ODPs come in.
But this was constructed in the last few months.
Yes. Yeah. So it came in after council was met with over a year ago to do with the wider topic of resolutions.
Yeah, correct. But
I think,
but that was a year ago, and I'm saying that this was built in the past few months. So how did that happen?
I mean, our priority is on subdivisions. Yeah, that's number one. Those things that have been built and have been there for some time. This was done through a resource consent. It is built. We're just trying to keep on top of everything as we see it. So we thought you'd welcome us coming here and asking you to resolve.
So to touch on timings, I'd like to pass Dean's Ave today, which is one of the reports today. We received that 2 months and 2 days ago. They've already dug the road out. So like for us to actually to bring to you, like understand that yes, this might be built, but for us, when I first received it, I then put a report in to try and write the resolution. And then if you miss that next date, it's then 6 weeks till we can come to the board. So it's about the timing, is that yes, we understand that it might be annoying that it's been built. But yeah, everything that's in those plans, that is what should be constructed. And that's what we will ask the subdivision engineers who give the approvals for it to do it.
Thank you. I just have one last question. So with the delegations register as it is and legal advice that we've received till now, and given the limits in the RMA which don't let us stop the clock, can you actually give us a scenario where we could have this and make some sort of meaningful change to the resolution? Because I can't actually think of one where that would be the case. So I'm not sure why we would even bring these in front of us other than for being in the
So all of these are done through the RMA, which is a process that council has set the standards that they have to be built to.
Yeah.
So because of that, all of the RMA process that occurs in everything. We then bring to you these resolutions under
the Local Government Act, and you're approving them under the Local Government Act.
Yeah, correct. I understand that, but I can't kind of like unbuild the footpath. Like if I didn't want to improve the footpath there, I can't actually do that in practical terms, really.
Yeah, in practical terms, because there is a guideline, the ITS and the CSS, that has been followed by developers.
And to be clear, I don't have an issue with it, but does that mean that we actually need to update the delegations register so these don't come to us?
The delegations register, there's a project ongoing now. Update.
I just don't see the point.
Yeah, and it's going to be a learning from us, learning that all of these need to be brought to you, because like in theory, if we bring you, when you get the engineering plans built and then the safety audit finds something and they change something, we have to then bring you another report. So sometimes there'll be 3 reports that are brought on something like this. That it's understand what you mean, but this is just the process.
Thank you.
Right. Any other questions, Mark?
Yeah, hey, thanks for bringing this. It's good to see it actually come here, but I'm wondering if there's not a way for the board to be informed of these sorts of things through the subdivisions process, so that it doesn't come as a surprise to us. We see this new footpath being built on, and we know nothing about it as a board, and yet here we are now having to do the approvals for controls. Just a simple memo update would be, I think, useful to keep the board just in the loop that these things are happening back here in RMA, likely to be built, and then we're suddenly surprised with, oh, we saw that being built, and here's the resolutions. Just a little bit of.
So I think, Andy, from last time we discussed a year or so ago, we talked about the improvements on the existing road outside the subdivision, which is a condition of the consent. And you discussed with consents people and legal about it. Maybe you can probably ask now about the ones within the subdivision process, whether the community boards can have input to that. Because as it is right now, the board doesn't have input to a subdivision process. The roading, anything that goes within the subdivision process. Maybe you can find advice on that, whether community board can have input to that.
Well, they can't have input
in RMA
within the subdivision because it's still a private.
It's the RMA process.
Private proposal.
It's been turned into a modern housing development, but it's still private. So it's all built privately
until it's vested in council.
Until it's vested. So here we come after the fact.
True.
I mean,
but I take your point, Mark, because Shan's Road, that was the condition of a resource consent. It's like a different process from a subdivision. So allow me to go back and see if there's a way that we could tell the board that I mean, consents happen. There's so many consents that occur. I had a chart up earlier on today. We've got 63 subdivisions spinning around at one time, and over 100 resource consents. So there just needs to be a way of telling. And quite often, a lot of these resource consents do not have an effect on the road. They might be an access. This one was quite unusual because we managed to get a footpath.
Yeah, well done.
As we tried very hard with turners across the road, but we didn't make that one. But
sorry, can we? Why?
Why? I think we threw the kitchen sink at it to get them to provide a footpath, but I think it came down because it's a planner's decision, right? So we offer advice to the planner.
Yes.
He felt.
Is it like leaching?
No. This is it's planner. It's a consent planner. I think we
not me.
Your colleagues.
So we didn't get turners because there was a way to get to turners through there was an existing footpath on the other side, and there was a crossing over Shan's, and there was a footpath along the Shan's frontage into the site. The one on the south, this one here we're dealing with, had you would be stranded. You couldn't get there without walking across the grass, grass berm. So that's why we got that one.
You actually still can't because there's no traffic light crossing. on that side. You have to cross 3 times to get across the street, which is odd. Sorry.
Yeah, technically there is a option to access there, and that's why we're able to.
Right.
And that again comes back to the district plan and the requirements within the district plan that they need to meet. Mark, to go back to your question, I think, as Andy said, we'll go back and look and see if there is a meaningful way of bringing them at an earlier point.
Yeah, even if it's just an awareness.
It's just it's trying to capture somewhere in the subdivision process of which team, who's doing it, and how to bring it so that it's brought. Yeah. You guys.
In the past, we brought a general what's going on in your area, don't you recall? And these give you a bit of a heads up in terms of the timing of development and when it's happening. This one was quite discreet because it was resource consent. Building was pretty much already established. The activity was already established. So that one's under our radar.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any further questions? No? Thank you, Andy and David. Moved by Mark,
Second, Cody.
seconded by
Cody.
Cody. All those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
No.
Against? Carried.
What
What were you doing? What were you gonna say? Cody?
I said against.
Oh, you're against. I thought it was moved by,
Yeah, I can do it. It's fine, isn't it?
did you move it?
No, I seconded it.
Oh, you mean Tyler moved. Oh, no, Mark moved, you
Cody
seconded,
seconded it and then he voted again.
and then you voted against.
You can do
You
it.
can't,
Cool.
you can't.
You
Don't call me.
Can't second something and vote against.
you can't
Oh,
second
really?
something and vote against it.
Oh,
No, you can't.
So which?
Anybody else want to second
okay,
that?
well, then, yeah, I can.
I'll
go
second
for
it. Wait,
Yeah, I'll vote for it.
he's
Really?
voting
That's
for,
I don't
voting
believe
for.
it is.
He seconded and voting for.
You record your
Local
words though,
Government
right, that you're
Act
against
does
it.
consider the decision
Do you
date
table it
and
then-
everything else.
Right, okay, yeah, okay, well,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
can.
Sure, you've asked for it, it's outstanding, good,
I-
it's recorded.
Parks Road corridor, and we've got the same people right in front of us.
Different team.
Great, welcome.
can you just
again.
Marie, can I just interrupt? Can you just clarify just what happened? Everyone was speaking and I couldn't understand what happened in the end.
Right,
it
so Cody seconded, also Mark moved it and Cody seconded, but then he voted against it, and he said, and advice from staff was that he cannot do that. If he seconds it, he has to vote for it, or if he wants to vote against it, then he can't move it or second it. So he's decided that he was seconding it and voting for.
Okay, because I actually thought that you could second something and not vote for it, but I'm corrected.
Yeah, so that was,
And we can, it'll be
Come back to this.
it'll
in
be,
the minutes.
yeah, it'll be shown correct in the minutes that
Okay.
Cody
Move on to item 10.
seconded and voted for it.
Thank you.
And voted for it.
Okay, that's all good. And back to Sparks Road corridor.
And we'll take that as read again as well.
Any questions? I've got Andre and who else? No, Andre.
Thank you. So I had a brief conversation today with Stephen Wright about a potential solution between 474 and 484 Sparks Road around gravel in Asheville.
Does that sort your temporary concerns?
I guess I'm just gonna need to know what, this was like a 15-second conversation. So I'm just keen to know what you can fill me in on.
Yeah, so
Before we go ahead and approve this, I guess.
yeah, regarding the previous correspondence that we have had, again, that section of footpath that's outside of the scope of what we're bringing you today.
So,
Yeah, that it's sitting at 53rd in the new footpath program, so it's sitting in there. It's also outside a location where in the outline development plan there is a proposed alignment of a road, so it will be needed as part of the wider network for a subdivision to occur through there. When that subdivision occurs, it's then when they would be required to do it.
Understood.
Yeah, unless council gets to the new footpath program before late development. Yep. So we've looked at the idea of an interim treatment of doing some shoulder maintenance there to provide gravel across there, so that it's a dry surface, it's a level surface and everything like that to widen it. Because if we were to put asphalt for another metre, is it car parking? Is it a cycle lane? Is it a footpath? And then there's also no curb or vertical delineation between a footpath and the cars and stuff like that. So yeah, that's been looked at in terms of a maintenance item to lift that shoulder and provide a level surface between those. Yeah,
It's that conundrum again. Is here's a frontage site whose timing is all off, and he might say, I'm not ready to develop yet.
No, and they're not for another 10 to 15 years.
Yeah. And that might be the case.
It is the case in this case.
Yeah, but quite often
That's what landowners say.
Yeah. And we do hear that from landowners, and quite often are surprised.
Sure. Yeah.
They go for it. So,
but that is what that new footpath program delivery of work is for. And the reason that it's ranked 53rd and it's not higher up is largely due to the fact that there's a footpath on the other side of the road. So if there was not a facility on the other side, it would be ranked higher. But due to the criteria that's been prioritised with the prioritization, the criteria at least, that is why it is sitting.
No, very familiar with the list. Yeah, the list is full of paths that no one's ever asked for. As well. What we're proving here is the frontage and path outside a very busy new shopping complex.
Yeah.
So, right here, this is the Quarry Market shopping complex. Thanks. And then there is, of course, no pedestrian connection between there and Halls Road, or indeed Hallsville School.
Yeah.
So
without crossing the road. Yep.
Yeah. It will be remaining a 60-kilometre section, a 60-kilometre section, for the foreseeable future, until that's reviewed. So it's crossing a 60k road, and it's crossing over an intersection where a child was hit by a truck recently getting to school, because that intersection's out of date. NZTA need to do it. Hopefully they'll do soon. I'm just keen to know where those investigations are at, into what could be done with the gravel or asphalt or whatever we're at. Because the information I've got at this stage is very, very light. I guess I need some form of assurance on when that can be done and what it potentially could look like. I don't know when the request might have come to you. There's a question I flicked through a couple of weeks ago, but I don't know how long you've had to look into it.
Yeah. Well, as you've spoken to Stephen, and Stephen has very briefly talked about a gravel type facility. It's definitely the cheapest. It's probably logical because it's still. One might say it still is going to be temporary until some stage it's going to be dug up, and it's probably the best value for money.
Well, totally. I think it makes heaps of sense, but it also makes a lot more sense than waiting 5 years for a new path, building a new path in 5 years, to then have a developer take over 5 years after that. It would also make more sense than that. I'm just trying to get an idea on what it might look like and when it could happen, and what it would cater for. Would it be gravel that a pram and a wheelchair can go over, for example? Because this is a big change to the road, and there's a big new shopping complex going in, and I'm going to need to get an idea on, will people be able to connect between that shopping complex and the shops further down by foot or wheelchair or pram, whatever? Will they be able to do that? Will there be something? And if so, when can it be done? Like for us to have this here but have no idea on that is really, really, really challenging.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, I mean, it would be a maintenance contract rather than a subdivision.
Yeah, which makes sense because then it wouldn't have to go through approval process.
Yeah. But I mean, it's going to be built for a purpose of walking over, right? And so I would imagine it'll be engineered to the right scale of the gravel and compacted enough so that it sustains the ability to walk over it. Possibly cycle as well.
So talking with Stephen, they've trialled something out. So the Templeton School, there's a school that they've done, an area that they've done for parking, and it'll be a similar material. It'll be a very fine chip that we use as the shoulder, so you will be able to walk. A wheelchair will be able to push over and everything like that. At the moment, we've only had it for the last few days, working days.
Yeah.
So we haven't been able to investigate it. I think if it is something, it sits outside of what we are here for today.
Understood.
I think leaving something on the table, asking us to go back and investigate it, definitely. And I think it is something that staff understand why you're asking for it. And yeah, it's something that will be investigated to come up with a solution that provides connectivity for everyone.
And the timing.
And be able to understand timing. The problem is that area is very flat, so drainage will actually have to be investigated for it, and then we'll have to possibly, anything more than gravel would need an arborist involved as well with those large trees.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why in a matter of days, a solution hasn't been able to come that we would. Yeah.
I guess I'm at a loss as to why nothing was looked into or considered over the last couple of years when all this work has been getting done. And why no consideration was given to how those people going to that shopping complex and beyond, and these hundreds of new homes are enabling, will be able to get around the area.
Yeah.
Like I'm really struggling to understand why no consideration was given to these things.
Right. Okay. Well, just to repeat, subdivisions are like a big jigsaw puzzle.
Sorry, I'm totally familiar on the process, and that each development does their thing.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the entire corridor. We're approving things along the entire corridor, and it's very, very clear what's still to come and what connections are missing. What I'm keen to understand is why no consideration was given to it over these last couple of years, because Chem said that it was coming, and that they're going to go, cars are going to go all the way down.
Well, that is the eventual. That's the intention eventually. Well, I remember we take advantage of the timing of when development happens, and we jump on them to ensure, and we cost share with them to create a footpath provision along the frontage. And so we relied to a large extent upon the wishes of the landowner and his intentions as to when to develop. And in terms of no consideration, we have given consideration, and we knew that there was ability to cross from the existing footpath on the northern side. Refuge Island, and over to that point.
Okay.
We're providing another additional refuge island for that one.
Okay, so you're saying consideration was given and an intentional decision was made to do nothing about this missing pedestrian connection, is what you're saying?
Well, I'm not saying an intentional decision to do nothing. Okay, so it comes back to we are guided by the intentions of the landowners who front Halswell Junction. So it's not, our intention wasn't to do nothing. Our intention is that through time, we will have a fully connected infrastructure.
Which would mean do nothing potentially for a decade.
Well, I mean, the information that you've got that the landowner is not intending to sell for 10 or 15. Which, you know, that's,
I would have thought you'd have that. You would have had those discussions because you'd give consideration to what the landowner's intentions.
I think what I'm hearing is that the landowner was not intending to develop it at that stage, so they can't do anything at that time. So
and it's been added to the footpath.
And now it's been added to the footpath program.
So that is the footpath.
So it's been added to the footpath program now.
Yeah, the subdivisions, like this subdivision or this plan here involves about 7 different subdivisions that we are trying to work with all of them to bring it together. Yes, there has been quarry paddocks that was disconnected from the network for quite some time, but that was just part of the plan waiting for the one that's now been developed to connect them. The new footpath program has been developed and brought to CCC now to provide a way to connect those missing links.
But for when we've got developers in the area doing work, traffic management plan in place, we could potentially be doing work at the same time, like we did in Kennedy's Bush recently, and there's a subdivisions budget potentially filling some of those gaps. So that's things that can be done outside of the new path program. But I get so for a temporary, whether it's gravel solution.
Can we ask that question? Can that actually be done outside of the new footpaths program?
Totally. Done it before.
Can we?
Yes, that's what we're looking to,
Through a maintenance. contract.
the gravel is looking to do it as maintenance.
Can we put that in the resolution to have that on the action tracker?
Well, that's guess what I'm asking.
Because that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? And then we'll just
Yeah.
track it.
Well, the timber gravel solution, I guess, what needs to be here in a resolution today for that work to progress?
I think it would be to ask us to go back and investigate it, and then instead of instructing, because then we don't know what we're going to get. Yeah. So if you ask us to investigate that, and that will be done through the maintenance, talking with Steve, that we're going to find a way.
That will be separate from this one.
Yeah,
Right.
correct.
Okay, are you happy with that, Andre?
Yep.
And then Cody, you got any more questions? No?
No.
Okay, right. Question?
Yeah, just one question. With this sort of instance where you've got that incident just adjacent, is there a way going forward that the subdivisions team could have as part of their brief to consider the connectivity of these changes and therefore look for those sorts of solutions in the same time as doing this? So rather than it becoming a problem for the new footpaths program later, we can have something in your wheelhouse where you can say, look, we know that this is in this area for the subdivision, but there's this connectivity issue just next door, which needs to be addressed. And could we find a way to instruct you as staff to then be able to look at that and say, how can we get a solution for that to make sure that connectivity isn't just sitting there as an ongoing issue forever?
I think we do. There are problems. There are problems in providing infrastructure before the frontage development.
So that's not the question.
It means digging all up again, typically.
That's not the question.
I mean, the question is, because there's that connectivity missing, and we're now thinking, okay, we'll get a temporary solution to help us through it. Could we have that as part of the subdivisions team's brief? Identify, there is a connectivity gap that's going to be created by this, and perhaps we can propose that temporary gap filling solution as part of the subdivision development process, so that at least the gap finally gets filled in for the interim.
Yeah, so to touch on gaps, there is gaps in this plan that council is filling. That's within the subdivision zone. I think it possibly is using the new footpath program to build something into that, to say when there is development close by or something like that, finding somewhere that is outside of where the development is, agree that it'd be great to have a mechanism that you can instruct us to look for those and find a way to deliver them.
And whether it's something through the long-term plan process.
Yes, exactly.
Expand that new footpaths program to be able to fill this gap.
No, we've been asking for that for years and said, tell us where the budget needs to go, we'll put it there so that they can be done at the same time. But it sounds like some of the budget is being used for across the road.
As well as at Sutherland's Corner, there's a section that won't be developed by those individual properties.
Yep.
So it's a question for the future.
Okay, so while Faye is drafting a resolution on that other, the gap. Can I just go through the plan, Dave? Just because there's no legend or key on the diagram, I just want to make sure that the board is approving what we are seeing, not like in previous plans that we've approved that we missed something because we didn't identify them. So what I'm seeing here is you've got identified or labeled as the pedestrian refuge. We can see that shared path, and those trees in the middle of the road. The green is that grass? The landscaping. Middle of Sparks Road?
Landscaping and trees.
So,
Probably not grass, but it's the
planting.
The tree pits have been built for the trees.
Right, and that goes all the way up to Sparks Road, up to the joint AA. So I see yellow lines all along Sparks Road. So that red line, does that mean that's where the shared path is going?
So the red line will be curb alignments.
Curb alignments.
Yes. And there's already been previously resolved a shared path outside of what's beside Milnes Road. So that's the 179,
right.
Which where it talks about the existing 2.5. That's previously been resolved.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, can you explain to me what does that the cycle, the green strip there at the
Yeah, so that's just road marking down from the Quarryman's Trail onto the road. So there'll be a cut.
to the road?
Yeah, a cut down there to then provide a cycle lane through there. Yeah.
So that was a shared path on the south side of Sparks Road, and then
Yes.
then the cyclist goes.
Yep, so there'll be a cycle lane as well as a shared path on that south side.
All right.
According to Marie,
Yes.
which part of the diagram are you referring to? The green part on the left or the green part on the upper right?
Is there a green part on the upper right? I don't see a green part on the upper right.
What page are you on?
Pedestrian.
54.
Yeah, I'm on 54. So
yeah,
when
I
you
only see a green part on the left with the cycle
Bottom,
diagram. Huh?
in the bottom.
Yeah, in the bottom. Sarah's pointing out something on the right, on the top.
I see at the very
I
bottom,
don't
the lime green.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that
I see.
means there's a cycle lane or a cycle on the shared path that goes out into a cycle lane on the road.
I see. Yep.
That's right. Any, how about any questions, Sarah, on the diagram? If you're
No, I'm just following through what you're explaining. So don't let me interrupt you. You carry on.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And then there's yeah, that's curbs. You were saying. So what is that thin red line?
The dotted.
Which the red line?
Between Ben Rogan Drive and Sutherland Road, because it's different from the rest of the red lines.
That should just be curved. That's obviously printed in that way.
Yeah, there's a dash, dash.
But it's the same. It should be the
Yeah,
same.
Red is curbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's nothing different there.
No.
What's the traffic calming devices that I mentioned in the resolution?
Speed humps.
No. It probably is calling the islands a traffic calming device.
The island.
Yeah.
The islands are actually listed separately.
Yeah. So it possibly is just a generic that's been left in there, just thinking that there is traffic calming in there. There is no vertical elements that are on this
It's
plan.
2.9 Cashmere to Sparks. Is that the one that you're referring to, Co?
Number 6 on the Sparks Road corridor. So that's Sparks Road traffic controls, McCartney.
So there are 3 trees marked on at the corner of Milnes Road and Sparks Road. Is that part of the approval?
Yes.
Those 3 trees there. Okay.
So I don't believe that was part of the road closure that's been approved.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But so it's part of this approval. Yes, Mark.
There's another little section of dashed red line down where that green cycle paint is. Is that a curb going across that?
Yeah, well, a curb cut down through it. So
Right.
it's just the curb alignment in terms of whether it's a cut down or it's full height. That'll depend whether or not there's a cycle connection like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, question from Andre.
Will Eccles Place, just wondering when the pedestrian connection will connect between there and Sparks Road? Eccles is like just above on the map where it says Milnes Road Drainage Reserve. So the advice I got back a few months ago is that it'll end up looking like the other way cul-de-sac to the right of it. Just wondering when the Eccles one connects up and if it's part of.
Which one's Echoes?
Just above Milnes Road Drainage Reserve, yeah?
Does it say drainage reserve?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's this one. Yeah.
So I can't give you that's still sitting. Like, so this plan is stitched together of 7 different engineering approved plans that I believe that it is occurring once the works on Sutherland's is finished. It's all getting done at the same time. Eccles Place, they might still be waiting on stormwater approvals for that. Over the how they want to do the drains.
Yeah, that makes
sense. There.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. But,
do you know the Milnes Road path connection? I haven't been for a look in a wee bit, so I'm not sure if it's already there.
It is.
It is.
Yeah,
there?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, cool. But it's not. I think it's close there, isn't it?
yes, that was previous. report that was brought.
Roads closed, but there's still pedestrian access.
Yes, yeah. There's a cul-de-sac that's at the top of Turning Head, and I think there's 3 car parks as well or something going in there.
What would that be? The median islands with the trees. Is there something we can do to make sure that they won't be high maintenance and that they're not?
It's already done, isn't it?
The median islands?
Yeah, we're
No, not
exploring it recently.
ones with the trees?
I didn't think the trees were sort
So
of.
the trees is part of IDS and those things.
Yeah.
It should be a specimen tree. It will not be any random tree. It will be a tree that's by landscaping.
Yeah. To make sure it's not going to also include a bunch of grass like the rest of
No, so
Sparks Road. Well, everything's at least you don't have to, mow them every few weeks. Be good if you did, but
Don't tempt you.
yeah, just like they're not going to require very frequent mowing and that kind of thing. I guess it's just what I'm trying to be sure.
no tree. So
Well, if it's also grass and also.
yeah, so it's not actually
It's not grass.
it's not grass. It's actually the concrete surface.
Green concrete.
Yeah. Like,
Very Riccarton.
So
see that
the
Sparks
bottom
Road needs
right,
regular mowing.
Collier Drive, so I take it you're not touching that because there's no red line there?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that's left as it is. So just to
Oh
confirm.
no, actually, no apologies. No, that is a new.
See?
No, actually, no. That curb is not being touched. That's the footpath that's being installed there. The curb is already there from coming out from the intersection.
So the red line is for the shared path, not the curb?
The red line is for the curb itself. There is also hatching behind that shows the shared path. So that will be new, the shared path that connects into Collier. There's no footpath there, but there is currently a turning bay that has a curb alignment along there.
Right. There's the yellow lines there.
And the yellow line is for no stopping.
So just to confirm, there are no surprise build outs here anywhere?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No surprise, speed bumps.
There's no vertical deflection and there is no
Okay.
Any surprise football?
Are we,
Well, they wouldn't be surprised if we heard about them.
are we ready, Andre, with your?
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I think we'll make it again, we'll probably do a 6A and a 6B. So 6A will be approves the pass curves, realignments, and I'm suggesting request that staff investigate an interim solution for contemporaneous provision of pedestrian connectivity between 474 and 484. Sparks Road utilising shoulder maintenance as an interim solution. I'll take out that first interim solution. Investigate contemporaneous provision.
I've never heard the word contemporaneous.
At the same time.
Yeah.
I can't say.
The more you know, eh? The more you know.
Simultaneous.
It's an interim solution
Yeah.
pending construction of a footpath, is that?
Yeah, just can we note something like there'll be a traffic management plan along here this year with works done and a new shopping complex opening early 2027. Just it's something around the timeline that we're doing, like aiming to do things at the same time. So we don't end up with all this done, new shopping complex and
With the
and with
frames.
yeah,
Developer.
yes, yeah,
Temporary and simultaneous together.
yeah.
Get it?
That sort of thing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's the word of the day. That's Mark Holson and the word you come up with. So Mark.
So we're.
Yeah, we try to.
Where do you want to put it?
Pending construction of a.
Contemporary is more just people to be contemporary. Contemporary is applied to events, objects.
Like just shoulder maintenance would presumably be possible to have done this year.
Yeah.
I would have thought, but at the same time as the work.
traffic management won't be with the development of.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit further down, but
Just want to smack some mighty
Do you
teachers in the
need
board
that
on me.
in there though, or I can just put it in the discussion, the board discussed. Top.
As a note.
Yeah, the board discussed.
In the minutes.
The growth of the area and the need for,
we're just aiming to coordinate with planned works.
Yeah, it's fine.
where would you put that?
Aiming,
Construction of a footpath, footpath, aiming to.
is it utilizing shoulder?
Aiming to.
This could be so.
With the aim to coordinate with upcoming works on corridor.
With the aim to coordinate works.
Gender, isn't it? Not.
I can take that.
Yeah.
Joseph, you've heard of it.
I've heard it.
Of course, Joseph.
No, I'm just going to say, all
He's a
right,
litigator.
Yeah, I was
take credit for it.
thinking of extemporaneous with the aim to coordinate. There we go. Works.
Local development works.
Well, upcoming works on the corridor.
Okay.
Upcoming
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Just the aim is that the shopping complex that opens without.
I'd leave it with upcoming developments. If you're talking about.
Upcoming development.
Yeah.
It's much. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Can we just above that in number 6? Well, we shouldn't say traffic calming devices if there's none, so we can take that out.
The trees are, the island there is a traffic.
Well, we can
calming.
change it to say tree, Marie, that's fine. Oh, it actually does say tree.
Yeah.
I've got a few more questions when I'm allowed.
Go ahead.
So you want traffic calming devices in that?
No, because it's
Be forgotten.
fine.
It doesn't say vertical if you want horizontal, because then that leaves the lights of the islands that are being there as a traffic calming device.
It does say traffic island part.
Yeah.
You just don't see any reason it should be in there if it's not
Mentioned
actually there.
Don't want to run.
They need to be in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sarah, go ahead with your question.
On the map, join A-A and the number of corners, is that just adjoining the next
The top.
part?
Two plans.
The top and the bottom diagrams.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
AA,
Okay,
Top right to the bottom left.
gotcha.
That's the-
And then there's 3, the black splotches, the trees, the similar, to the ones that are in the middle islands. There's 3 additional trees in that little green patch in the middle. And what was my other one? Can't remember the other one. That's okay. Thank you.
Top. It's good.
Nice.
So that, David, that one at the top right, the 2 trees, there's that island there, and then is that a pedestrian refuge? And then
Yeah, so there's a
break in it,
the crossing point through there.
there's a crossing point there.
Just like there's a crossing point outside top left in the middle of the trees there. There's also
Yep.
a crossing point there. Yeah.
Another one.
Just out of interest, that's also the only crossing with tactile pavers only on one side. Why is that?
So,
In the top right crossing.
so the top right one is
Yeah.
because it's already been resolved on the other side. The shared path's already been resolved there. Yeah.
That's confusing.
Very.
Okay, Andre,
Just the entrance and exit for the quarry market.
where's the quarry market?
The
Left-hand side.
There.
It's not clear on this map. Are we just able to get a memo something in the near future?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
investigate what's been internal about it. Again, we're talking about the curb alignments. We're not actually talking about where the
Yeah.
points are, because that's a whole different process. But I'll look to get you.
Cool. Does that mean something will end up coming back to us around the?
Looks like.
No,
No.
because a vehicle crossing application is done through a process that's not delegated to the board.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, we're just talking that there'll be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Okay,
Nice one.
all good. All right, so anything else? Any other questions?
No, Andrew's happy to move.
Yes.
Andre's happy to move and I will second.
Yes. Good.
Good.
Want me to bring it up?
We have brought it up already. Do you want to bring it up again? All right, A and B. A and B. All right, Rick. So A, everybody happy with
That's the
that?
change, otherwise. it's
B.
different.
It's changed, yeah.
Yes, so it's become 6A and B, yeah.
Well, thanks.
Oh,
Questions? I've got no questions
You
now.
know,
Terrible.
there is correct.
I've got one for Dean's.
On 6A, McCartney is capital C and small a rather than capital A. McCartney. Yeah. Capital C.
Is it?
Yeah,
Can't be right.
or that's what's in the diagram.
Probably not.
McCartney.
It doesn't all right.
It must be.
That's me.
Or is it MCC?
That's MC.
MCC.
Something that makes me different.
Just one second.
What about the Celts among us? It's a their language.
They sound correctly.
Got to get it right for the lawyer.
I don't know.
It's redlined.
David,
Yeah, I'm just confirming on here.
Yeah, word bank.
MAC,
McCartney?
just MAC.
MAC.
Small C.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
That becomes with a pending typos
Like-
division.
Smaller.
Okay, all right, okay, so 6A and B, moved by Andre, seconded by Marie. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against?
I already emailed the answer, hopefully.
Carried. Thank
Sorry,
you.
you're against them?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, what was it?
We can see.
Oh, you're against, okay. Cody is against,
We don't need to-
Thank you.
We can't change it.
You're against some spikes, right?
carried.
No.
Stop it, you guys, let me talk about this way too much. I just want to go home. Oh, this is crazy.
It's starting to feel like Facebook.
in the dark at this
Right. We will move on to item number 11, Southeast Halswell subdivision roading approval.
Happy to move. Thank God.
Andre's moving.
Oh, I've got a question.
Question, all right,
This
question
here.
from Mark and then Sarah.
Yeah, I think this is the right item. There's so many of these. Cycle lanes shown.
Yeah.
But there's no yellow lines.
Yep, so that was part of when the development was previously done. If that is something that you want investigated for it to be done.
I know that we've had in the past come back to the board to add yellow lines because they were missed when cycle lanes were put on the road.
So
I think Wickham Skies was a good one.
It was an issue for, I think, at least 6 years.
So-
And the report says that transport staff will enforce it once we've done this. I can tell you from experience that's not true. They don't enforce it unless it's yellow line.
Question.
And I think-
Questions to staff, please,
Mm,
questions?
So is that something that's been overlooked or is that something we need to ask you to investigate adding?
we would need to investigate that. So that was as part, again, the subdivision engineering approvals. That's what's in there. Since these ones were built many years ago, it has been asked that the broken yellow lines are put into the urban cycle lanes now.
Yeah.
So that is improvements that have been made. But for this one, it has been signed off. So it is council vested. So if you want to investigate it, it would be done through the traffic ops or.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, please.
It's a shame we can't get it added as part of this approval, but
I'll just chuck it in.
Pretty sure we can.
is it possible for us to
Yeah.
add in?
It's within the delegation. It's like in front of it.
So this is part A and the board approval, right?
I'd be keen to
But
make
the
sure.
cycle
that
lanes
that's
is council delegation.
Part A.
Yeah, it's probably just who's paying for it is the.
So,
that reason you.
Without regard for who's paying in front of the amendment.
Hang on,
Okay, so to be clear, it's not a cycleway, it's cycle lanes. So when we're talking about yellow lines, we're talking about parking restrictions.
yes, we are, but this is a recommendation to council to put in cycle.
But that's separate to the lanes. The parking restriction on the street is separate to lanes.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
us.
why-
Yeah, that's it.
That's the reason why they're not actually there today.
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah, so we can do
The engineer.
okay,
no parking restriction.
all right,
But we
moving
need a
on.
recommendation.
You're done with your questions, Mark?
Well, I'm still in limbo. Are we able to add those yellow lines?
Yes.
Oh,
You can add that it's self-investigate.
Yeah, I think it's, you could ask us to
Investigate.
investigate, otherwise you're asking us to spend money. Yeah.
It's like $300.
so we had.
Because it costs another $1,000 to bring another report back if it's approved.
Yeah,
It does.
but it would have to anyway, wouldn't
Okay.
Yeah, so
We don't need to know the-
these larger ODPs,
We are.
are gonna get quite a lot coming in.
Yeah.
It is about approving what is out there right now.
Yeah.
Knowing that, yes, there will be things like that would have been nice, but
Could we get those investigated ahead of them coming to us for the retrospective approvals? We do one report covering everything. When we're approving the cycle, they're mentioning the yellow line with them.
yeah. And that's like what, not the third option, but option 2 is asking for you guys to give direction for us of what we would like to see for those things. So yes, that is something.
Yeah, we can do that then. I can take this request and I can speak with operations about it, and then we can discuss it for the future meetings, because there are more of these reports coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those investigations will probably sit with us still, because we're still bringing those reports. It won't be with ops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want it as a resolution? Do you need it as a resolution?
Do option 2. Can get you to investigate and bring it back.
I think you'd need.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other problem is we have to consult on broken yellow lines.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh,
it's all of that other process, and that's why.
Wow.
Yeah, these reports here are what has been approved through the RMA process.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, consultation is needed for broken yellow. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
We've made a rod for our back, haven't we?
yes. It was a separate-
Local government act's got a little.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. So if we went for option 2, to be clear,
To ask for the
that's not going to approve these, is it? So in status quo, actually, cycle lane, just taking one element of that design is actually non-enforceable, strictly speaking.
No, so it's a special vehicle lane, which is why it's going to council,
Yeah,
and
but
it is enforceable.
currently it's not.
It's
because it's
correct.
not approved, right?
Because currently it's along these roads.
So with option 2, actually, in fact, going for that would actually be worse from an enforcement perspective because it actually
It would be legal.
vehicle lane.
Yes.
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
It's only-
Done those roads.
All
It'd be
good.
better off to approve it and then bring that, let's just
So what are you on to, Mark?
do option 1.
Yeah, I think Mark, for yours, it's the consultation piece is the.
Yeah. I think we'll go away to option 1, but we're going to get that brought back for the yellow lines to the.
That's a separate one.
Just a question on that. When the yellow lines,
To do that.
Yeah, because we've got still Sarah waiting for her questions to be asked.
Okay.
Um,
the
Can I come back to you? Cody?
yeah, sure.
Mark, are you done with your, you gonna
Oh, I was about to.
think through it first? Think through it first?
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, Sarah and then Cody.
Yes, I got one question, but that conversation, I was trying really hard to understand what was going on, and I couldn't decipher where it landed. And Mark, are you still a bit confused?
I'm still fairly confused on this one. We need to get the yellow lines added, but the process to get it there, I don't know how we do it.
Well, you can add the resolution.
Yeah.
To this and ask them to investigate it. The process that the team, the staff will have to go through, regardless of how you put that request in, is the same.
But if we get a resolution added to it to investigate the adding of the yellow lines.
Where is it?
Just at the bottom, I think, just.
Are we able to add one for all of the coming subdivisions?
No.
Well, hang on, no, but we could actually say in line with current best practice, because these are from years ago. What might not be best practice,
You can.
might want to bring back to.
They have this.
Yeah, not in this report.
Can't have that in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Of all the places.
But it's just trying to open it up for the other ones. Otherwise, how do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it might just be a resolution we write in each.
That definitely would
They
be
come back. Us with
So people don't know.
we invest.
Just to come back.
I can see the taxes.
For the ones tonight, are you talking
I've
about?
got the base. These
Well, tonight and the future,
Last
each
year and
one gets the same resolution to investigate it if it wasn't part of the engineering approvals.
But yeah, there were some when they first went in.
Yeah.
We do it as individuals.
Reports.
Yeah.
A subsequent report.
I don't, yeah. It wouldn't get picked up on it.
Yeah,
So
we
Mike-
just need to figure out a resolution just for
Connections
this,
gotta go through.
Yeah.
for this one, and then we can discuss how we
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
moving forward.
I still got Sarah and then Cody.
Okay. So section 2.9 Cashmere to Spark says traffic calming. What does that mean, please?
2.9.
Oh, you nearly tricked her.
Do we have a two?
So that is the feature that's been installed at the crossing. I believe it was supposed to be a vertical to do with the heights of the drain that's underneath it. It's ended up not being one. If you drive over it, it's actually not one that's there. It's in the plans showing.
Sorry, where's 2.9?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that.
I'm not seeing 2.9 there.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm looking at under officer recommendation being 2, and then 9 being the
Which item are you looking at?
this item 11.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So under
Page-
page
86.
There.
Resolution 9.
Resolution 9.
Nine.
Just
Yes.
Resolution 9.
under officer recommendations 2. Yeah.
I'm really keen to move this. I think some of this we could take offline.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Again, what is out there right now is what you're resolving. You're not resolving anything else that's added in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have a mover?
So are we wanting
Right.
to add?
Are we still adding the resolution, Mark's one on the yellow lines?
I mean, Mark can if he wishes. I
Mark?
think it's
Are we
best.
including that or they'll be separate?
I mean, I think it's important that we have at least investigated the completeness.
So it's similar to your previous one, to request staff to investigate and then.
Yeah, it would make sense doing those things at the same time. But Andrew will have dozens of examples to work with. This definitely won't be high up on that, on the ones that he's done sooner rather than
It
later.
might need more than just Andrew's attention.
Well, yeah, it would have to anyway, but having this there wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, okay.
So are we saying, I've just got requests that staff investigate need for no stopping restrictions. Are we saying
Say
that
to reinforce the.
along cycleways or within the subdivision? Because are there any on road ones?
There's multiple subdivisions.
Along the cycle
Multiple.
Along cycleways.
Along cycleway.
lanes.
Lanes.
Oh, yes.
Lanes.
Along
Lanes.
cycle lane.
They're lanes.
They're not ways.
They're not ways.
Yep, happy to move.
That's what I was moving it.
Happy second.
Okay.
So request that staff investigate the need for no stopping restrictions along cycle lanes and provide advice to the board.
Very
Right,
good.
okay.
Okay.
Moved by Marie, seconded by Andre.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you.
Thank.
Oh, that was item number 11, is it?
You abstained? Cody.
Oh, Cody abstained. 11. So now we're in item 12.
Happy to move.
Southeast Allswell, moved by Andre,
Can I ask some question?
Oh, separate second, but
seconded by Tyler. Question from Cody.
So we've got Eccles Place, page 125, and page 124 is store closed. They look identical. One has yellow lines and the other doesn't. Is that just because it's as it is?
Yes, because that's just how it's approved under the.
Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's two different developments. And so the engineering plans were accepted. Through two different developments.
Okay. I mean, there's issues around like other bends and crossings and so forth. Okay. How would we raise those issues if we thought there was an issue?
So that's through the normal customer service process. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All good, Cody?
Yeah, thanks.
Right. Moved by Andre, seconded by Tyler. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank
There's a
you.
non-resident thing I voted for. So I'll put second.
Right.
You're good city councillor.
Now we move on to item number 13, 55 Deans Avenue, subdivision roading approval.
Questions from me?
Questions from,
The only thing I'd like to mention before is Mayfield is supposed to be Mayfair in the resolution.
Yeah, cool.
right.
And I had a second question.
Happy to move.
Question?
Hate to be repetitious here, guys. This is like the other ones, an approval for work that's already started.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I've just had some residents confused about that one. Can we expect anything like that again for the same subdivision? Will there be anything?
For this specific one? No.
Okay.
Yeah. So to touch on the timing as well. So this is the one that was received 2 months and 2 days ago when we received the engineering approvals for it. So that's how quickly they have got in and started.
Yeah, they're quick.
Yeah, like developing it, but it's been bought as soon as possible.
Right. So if we get any further reports from these guys, we can expect it to be done with a good runway?
A good what? Sorry.
A runway, lead time?
Yeah, it'll be once, if a safety audit changes something, that they find that there's a safety issue post-construction, that's when we'll bring something post-construction. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all from me.
Helen?
Yes, this is the sale yards one.
Yes.
Yes. I read the resource consent. It was I read it quickly. They seemed concerned that the footpath on Mayfair Street wasn't wide enough.
They've got a foot.
Is that your view?
Why didn't
I mean, it does. I mean, it's a small item in the whole development, but they did seem concerned. All the staff were concerned about
because
about the footpath.
Yes, I'm done. Yeah, so in terms of the fact that it's a high density property, that there'll be a lot of rubbish bins that and other things that are put out on the footpath. That yes, I think that a normal standard treatment of footpaths is not adequate when we're starting to get high density areas.
Okay. So you believe, to some extent, with the people who did the report, that it's just a minor issue in a large development, because that seems to be the way it's sort of argued.
So that's to do with the RMA process.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here to do with the approvals of the approved plans. So that's what.
All right, so you haven't got any
I've got,
authority to go outside the resource consent?
No one does.
No one does.
No.
No one does.
Just granted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think it's reasonable. It's just taken so long, 30 years.
Just a question on the diagram. Page 146.
Happy to move.
Yeah, okay, hang on.
Oh, you both.
146, those,
can we get it up? It's not loading on my
oh,
either, sorry.
I
Here we go. It's now arrived.
PDF's too big.
yeah, we were just wondering what those, like, they look like broken teeth. So are they driveways or?
So that is a vertical feature on that road. So that'll be a crossing point that's raised.
How,
Above.
above that, the greens, they look like broken teeth?
Oh, those ones are cutouts for parking
The
spots.
broken teeth indicate that it's a speed hump.
Yeah.
The
No,
one that people.
No, she's meaning these.
At the top of the street.
Meaning these.
The green molars.
green one.
So on the new road, it looks like driveways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they driveways?
Yes.
Yes.
Several driveways? Yeah. Okay. They are driveways?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're just wondering.
No, I believe they are property access.
Going into back garages on a.
Yeah.
property.
Back garage. Yeah.
Back garages, right, yeah,
Yeah, because it's internal
Oh,
from
yeah,
the.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. So,
So excited.
by,
I'll move it.
moved it, Andre, or Tyler?
Oh, I did, but
He didn't.
definitely did.
Down the quickest, doesn't it?
Question from Mark.
Yeah, just a quick question.
Oh, it doesn't.
You can see the South Express MCR on that plan.
Yeah.
That's staying there.
Yes.
I'm gonna go put it-
Erase another sketch.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're so good, man. They move like it's crazy.
Interesting to see how it
Yeah.
works
Yeah,
out.
moved by Andre, seconded by Tyler. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Cheer.
Aye.
Same.
Abstain.
What is up with you got extensions today?
I
My goodness me.
abstain, Cody against,
Mhm.
none. Okay, Sherry,
Cody
Cody abstained.
Yes,
Yes.
and the previous.
And the previous one.
Yep.
And the previous one. Oh, Carrie, right,
Can't do anything, but.
thank you, Andy.
You're right,
Thank you, David.
otherwise it's illegal.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
That's us, because we've got the delegation.
so we move on to item number
It's not
14,
enforceable.
We shouldn't have said that was-
Community Board Area Report.
Happy move.
Happy to second.
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Moved by Tyler,
Question?
seconded by Andre. Question from Mark.
Yeah, I've just got a question around the Stedman Road piece. And I see in there the advice that it could take several years to get this very simple footpath. Is there a way that we can try and expedite that and try and get that, I guess, very simple bit of footpath moving rather than just waiting several years?
Imagine it.
Maybe more than 50 years.
And I'm happy to ask this
153.
question at council too.
Yes, I'll say it probably, this came because the board did ask that question, and
Yes.
this is the advice that has come back.
Yeah.
Is that it is, a developer would do it, but it's going to be, it's the same conversation we just had about Sparks Road.
Yeah.
So the conversation would need to be around the prioritization of the
Footpath program.
footpath program.
Or,
I really don't feel that it's.
or a smart way to get it done.
Yeah,
I'll raise that question at council and see if they get the mayor's attention.
Can we also get an update on where those are at? Because we met with Andrew like August last year and understood that they're designing them then, like pretty simple footpaths.
Yes, it's not an Andrew one, but
I realise that, but we haven't had any.
yeah, so that update I got this week, I believe they've got 6 that they're hoping to tender this year.
But we haven't approved them.
Meaning approved this year and tendered this year,
Okay.
but delivery more likely early 2027. Was the response I got in Sutherland's Road, but it sounds as though they're talking about 6 at a time.
Yeah.
But that was the latest response I got this week.
Okay.
but yes, I can put the
Okay,
request
take a while.
through for update.
Well, I've asked.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take it in the meeting by then.
This one, area report.
But it comes first, the end of this meeting or the
I gave you.
end of this meeting or the footpaths, which comes first?
That's right. I'm looking for locations now.
Okay.
We're number one again in litter and all of these other things. I just wanted to know locations, visibility on the locations, because they're probably recurring. That's all.
Which one?
And I just get for the table.
For the hybrid.
Councillor
for the
Harrison
hybrid,
was asking about the hybrid request.
Henderson's.
Henderson.
So I have gone back to him, and so I guess the answer is, I mean, the question is, how are the hybrid requests, how do they inform maintenance and, any plans, long-term plans? And there's lots of different ways that the hybrid requests inform that. So it's from customers through elected member requests like transport user, so it's used in lots of ways. So I've asked for some specific examples, but also in our area report we share our community board area. But I guess each community board has, so although Riccarton is always highest for our area across the city, it is not the highest. So that also plays a part in how resources are allocated and all those things. But yes, specific examples, and then I can give a more specific update.
Only justice number one happened to border Riccarton.
I can share. I should have shared that advice to the whole board. But I didn't.
The number one in graffiti.
All right, just
Item 14 on.
correction, because it's not on the run sheet, but it's on the agenda. So we haven't discussed the subdivision roading approval for Henderson's ODP, and staff have left already. Are there any?
I think we have all the answers we need.
We have all the answers? Moved by Andre,
Sure.
seconded by Tyler.
No, that's not on the agenda.
It's not on the, it's not.
I
on
didn't see it.
This is heading.
What?
I didn't think there's actually
No.
an item to approve.
Henderson.
But now there isn't, I've moved it.
Better.
No,
Hang on, they're double checking.
that's not the publisher's.
I think we can do that with the leave of the chairperson.
Yeah.
Top chamber, isn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, the chair can do.
Filled out?
Discretion.
Yes.
Yeah.
it was.
It was based on the same principle
That
perspective.
agenda item was pulled out, so back to square one. So nothing on the Henderson's ODP.
Has that been, was that the last question?
So the area report,
Yeah,
See the
thanks.
vote on that.
yes, it was moved by Tyler and seconded by Andre. All those in favor say aye.
Sorry, what topic are you on? Is it
Area report,
talking between yourselves?
area report. No, I was talking to everybody.
There's some confusion. It's just the area report.
Yes,
Yeah.
area report.
And,
Against? I've already coded.
sorry, you were talking at the top table
No, I'm
between yourselves.
using already for votes for the area report, and everybody said aye, and you,
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you were talking between yourselves
no,
and I wasn't able to even hear what was happening.
No, I was talking to
So-
everybody.
If you're wanting to pass this, you want
The
to.
area report, yes.
Okay,
Have passed it. You just say aye, Helen.
That's carried.
take a vote.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Carried.
All right.
Okay,
Did anybody vote against?
now,
Any abstentions?
any other? Okay,
They had better move number 15.
item number 15, which is
Happy to second.
members' information exchange. So I would like to invite any report backs on liaison groups on important community issues, and to councillors to report back on any council and committee decisions that the board has to know about.
That's good. That's a good way of
Right.
looking at it.
Okay, so that's our information exchange. So
I think we need to discuss one, are we going to do a submission on the board?
we can
Waste
set
management.
offline. This is
Well,
just information
But people
sharing.
go now, so I think we should.
When we finish the meeting,
Yeah, we can't with the councillors in the room.
this is information sharing, and that's all I need.
Well, I could say that there's been a lot of upset in Dean's Avenue precinct area on the other side, but regarding our motions, our resolutions. I'm actually to blame for one of them, but I did ask staff twice for information. I didn't get it. And I asked them at the meeting and I still didn't get it. But anyway, we've got the situation where we've some information's to come back, but there was an extra crossing asked for, I believe, and that went affected Kilmarnock Street. When I kept saying how many car parks are missing, I wasn't told. So I will take that up further, but we do have a couple of angry people.
Okay, so this is not part of the
But it is actually, it's been,
information exchange.
well, it is actually, because
It's
lose resolution
issue.
and people are upset, that's all. Now, they've been told they can't come back, and if that's that, that's that. But I'm just saying, we didn't take enough time on a certain resolution, in my view. And I feel a bit disconnected, actually, so I'm fine, people, but if you don't hear that, where does
We
it
heard.
hurt?
Okay, we heard. Anybody else needs to share anything or?
Antonio Hall's underway. I met with Mainland Property. They're the developers of Antonio Hall site. There's going to be 400 beds, 150 apartments.
For students?
You can't exclusively give it to students, and by law, but they are opening it up to the student market.
Young people.
And it's going to have a communal area in the middle. And there's going to be like a projector theatre system for everyone to be able to book out this room and be able to watch the rugby and things. And then wrapped around it is heaps of apartments up to 3 stories. We're going to go right up to the frontage of Riccarton Road. They've knocked out quite a lot of the trees. One of the questions.
Are they going to demolish the chapel as well?
It's gone. Yeah, I took the historic thing off it. Sorry. Yeah, please forgive me. But yeah, so they've left a couple of protected trees, but everything else is gone. Which is good. There was about 30 cats there. Girl, yeah, a gang of cats.
Oh.
So there was no rat issue in Antonio Hall. But the SPCA are working with Mainland at the moment, and they're actually de-sexing them and getting them jabbed and
Loki wasn't
there. Loki was not there. No, he'd be eaten up for dinner.
Wasn't visiting.
Too busy waiting. Not ready for those Riccarton cats. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
Wonder who got rid of that.
Okay,
damn it.
thank you, Kyla.
Gang,
so
the mob.
Anybody else?
The mob.
One more.
One more?
The University of Canterbury also hosted a student accommodation forum. So myself, Tyler, and Helen were there. It was actually really fantastic to hear from all the parties involved in students and accommodation across the city and out to Lincoln as well. So it's good learning experiences
Great.
most of the day. Yeah.
Good. Okay,
Thanks.
so we'll move on to our closing karakia.
Only here, te te uru tapu nui. Kia wātia, kia mama, te ngākau, te tinana, te wairua, i te ara takatu. Koiara e rongo, whakahia ake ki runga, te tina, tia, ria i tāki.
Ake.
Meeting